Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top stories today. Year 2 since the war in Gaza began, and now Hamas's forces are devastated. The former chief of Israel's military estimates more than 10% of Gaza Palestinians are dead or injured. And now, analysts say a significant chance for peace is finally here. Amy Kiley has more on what they say is different about ceasefire talks that start Monday.
This is the closest we've come to getting all of the hostages released.
Analysts say an end to the war in Gaza could be within reach as ceasefire talks begin in Egypt today. Israel, Hamas, and the U.S. have delegations there. Negotiators are discussing President Donald Trump's 20-point roadmap for peace.
It's a great deal for Israel. It's a great deal for the entire Arab world, Muslim world, and world. So we're very happy about it.
The roadmap calls for an immediate end to the war. It then gives Hamas 72 hours to release all Israeli hostages. After that, it calls for Israel to set free 250 prisoners and 1,700 detainees. The plan also involves Israel's eventual withdrawal from Gaza. For the first time, Israeli leaders are publicly agreeing to that idea.
There's a lot of will on every party to try and get a deal this week.
Both sides face growing international pressure to end the conflict. A UN inquiry says Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Also sparking outrage is Israel's recent attempt to assassinate a Hamas ceasefire delegation in Qatar.
Have you ever heard about a neutral country that mediates conflicts being attacked because they are hosting the talks from one of the parties of the conflict?
The U.S. has considerable leverage over Israel. Analysts say Trump now seems ready to use it.
He's decided that this war and Israeli military operations need to come to an end.
Amy Kiley reporting, News Channel Nebraska.
Closer to home, a former Northeast Nebraska teacher accused of having a sexual relationship with a student could be headed to prison next month. 29-year-old Nixel Ortiz pleaded guilty to a reduced charge in Madison County District Court. She was initially charged with first-degree sexual abuse by a school employee following her arrest last May. And the State Patrol said in an investigation that Ortiz had a sexual encounter with a Madison High School student after a graduation party. Ortiz taught English at Madison Middle School. She faces up to 5 years in prison when she's sentenced in November. We're heading into the second week of the government shutdown. The two sides mostly still at odds, and people across the nation will be negatively affected soon. Among the consequences, funding for WIC and SNAP, which could be limited starting next month. Telehealth services could be limited for seniors as well, and small businesses looking for loans could be delayed for a while. Not to mention the folks expected to continue showing up for work without a guarantee of a paycheck hitting their bank account.
It's my hope that later this week we can get back open, we can go back to the table with the Democrats, and we can find our way through a mainline budget. Listen, I've been in Congress for 3 years. I was a state senator for 10. I've never seen anything so irresponsible during my time in government as a government shutdown. And I just want to say this to the federal workforce, the men and women that are at the TSA line in the airports, the men and women at Stratcom, the USDA food inspectors that are in Schuyler and all of the other food processing plants. Thank you. Thank you for going to work. Thank you for doing your job. I apologize that you're having to deal with this because the Democrats refuse to fund the government. There will be an opportunity for us to find a bipartisan solution, but only if we open things back up.
Maintain, nourish, and support your health by visiting our Good Health, Good Life shopping tab. You'll find select multivitamins, probiotics, and more, designed for you. Make the Good Life even better and promote your health in 2025.
Democrats are insisting on renewing subsidies to cover health insurance costs for millions of households. President Donald Trump says he wants to preserve existing spending levels. The Trump administration says they believe Democrats will have to cave because of the jobs and federal projects being put at risk. Now, millions who rely on food stamps and family aid through federal programs are at risk of losing their assistance during this shutdown. It's because funding was cut off as of September 30th. And as Jen Sullivan reports, these crucial programs now rely on reserve funds until the government passes a new spending plan.
This is baby Zave. He's now 1.5 and thriving. But his mom, Ashley Vasquez, says that wasn't always the case.
He just didn't have an appetite and he wasn't putting on weight.
Zave was put on special nutritional drinks that his family received through WIC, federal-funded program for women, infants, and children. It provides aid to more than 6 million low-income families to help cover expenses for food, breastfeeding support, and health education. But that money could soon be at risk if the government shutdown continues.
For really young children whose sole source of nutrition may be infant formula, the loss of WIC would be absolutely devastating because their families don't have other options.
Nell Menifee-Leiby with the National WIC Association says if the government doesn't pass a spending bill within the next 2 weeks, funding will likely run out.
That really puts us in a crisis point very quickly.
Funding for other assistance programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP could also be at risk. Roughly 42 million people depend on SNAP to help cover groceries. October's benefits were already sent out, but come November 1st, it's unclear whether people will receive assistance as politicians continue to debate.
Republicans refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit.
This is not about health care. This is about Democrats wanting to show their progressive left base that they are fighting against Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, it leaves vulnerable parents like Ashley Vasquez unsure how they're going to pay for their families. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Nebraska faces a critical shortage of rural health care workers. Now a coalition of advocates is working with community members to answer questions, gather information, and offer support. The need for community health workers in rural Nebraska has more than doubled over the last 5 years. Officials with the Central District Health Department say their organization is gathering information from people on the social determinants of health.
So looking at childcare, how to find a job, transportation, language barriers, access to health care, things like that.
Simonson says the state's having to adjust to Medicaid cuts for Nebraska's most vulnerable, but says bringing the discussion down to the micro level in the state's smallest communities is key to helping rural residents access help.
The state does a really great job funding some awesome programs, but not everybody always knows that those exist or how to access those or if they're eligible for them. So having somebody at that peer, that community level that can kind of break it down and walk alongside you and help kind of guide you through it helps make you more self-sufficient.
The Central Health District recently held a movie screening in Grand Island highlighting the importance of rural health care workers. It was also meant as a way to gather people together to discuss issues. Well, the weather provided its share of challenges this past weekend, but Fork Fest still went on as planned for its 11th annual festival in Norfolk. Sarah McKenna has more.
Even with the wind blowing through downtown Norfolk, Fork Fest kicked off for its 11th year. Hosted by the Norfolk Arts Center, the event takes months of coordination and planning to bring together.
We work on this all year long.
Held at the Arts Center, Fork Fest gives the community a chance to support local businesses. And there wasn't just art to look at and buy. Kids had an opportunity to get creative with fall crafts.
There's definitely a need for people to be able to experience art and appreciate art.
This year, the festival had 21 vendors tie down their tables and bear the wind and heat to promote and sell their creations. From bowls, blankets, earrings, and even some beauty-related booths, everyone brought something different, like CK Beauty Lounge, who knows what she does is not at every festival.
I mean, there's like lotions and stuff, but I haven't seen something for nail care specifically, or even like press-on nails. I know press-on nails anyone can do, but not everyone has the ability to make a whole booklet.
Forkfest is her third time bringing her business to a festival, selling press-on nails and nail care to promote healthy nails. She's been doing nails since she was 10, enhancing her craft every year.
In high school, it really kind of hit that I had a talent for doing nails. That's when I started doing acrylic nails, and everyone in my school was like, oh my gosh, like who did them? Where'd you get them done?
Despite the wind blowing products over, this Norfolk tradition provided the residents with another year of music, food, and art. In Norfolk, Sarah McKenna, News Channel, Nebraska.
Nearly 90 bands marched through Grand Island for one of the largest musical events that started in 1938. In Nebraska, the annual Harvest of Harmony Parade. Kids stepping and playing in unison. There were also judges keeping an eye on the talent. Class AA won by Kearney High School. Class A went to Northwest. Class B saw Aurora as the best unit, and the Huskies picked up another honor, best overall in A and B. Class C was claimed by Alma. Class D won by Fullerton. The Warriors considered the best overall C and D parade winners. When they were done marching, most of the bands also put on a show at Grand Island Senior High to show off their field skills. And Sunday marked a very special day in News Channel Nebraska history. NCN turning 10 years old. This photo from October 5th, 2015. First day on the air as News Channel Nebraska. That's me in the anchor chair. 10 years later, we're still here. Not every independent station can say that, so thanks to you, the viewer, for making that possible. It's the support of Nebraskans and the businesses in this great state that allow us to provide this service, and we are grateful for all of it. From daily newscasts to live high school and college sports, parades, severe weather coverage, and yes, quarantine tonight. It has been a busy decade. As a tribute to viewers, we'll have some special anniversary programming throughout the month. Might even have some giveaways for fans as well. Thanks for watching, and here's hoping you'll be with us for another 10 years and beyond. In the meantime, you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.